Happy morning, my dear children. Again, I am back to join with you with this virtual class. And as you can see here, motivational thought given by Bruce Lee. Empty your mind, be shapeless and formless like water. Here from the thought itself, we can say that we should be like water. That means when water is in the form of a river or if it is in the form of an ocean, we can see there will be taking the shape that moment only. The same way, the mind of all the human beings, it should be like that. Wherever we will be moving, wherever we will be doing anything or whatever we are doing that moment, that thought, it should be there, and later on you have to empty it and you have to be there with a new thought. So my dear children, with this thought I begin the new chapter, that is the third lesson, and that is strategies for enhancement in food production. And here we can see the chapter at a glance. Animal husbandry. In that, management of farms and animals, and with that we can see subtopics: dairy farm management, poultry management, animal breeding, beekeeping, fisheries. Number 2 is plant breeding. In that we are going to study about the development of new genetic varieties by plant breeding. Number 2, plant breeding for disease resistance. Number 3, plant breeding for developing resistance to insect pest. Number 4, plant breeding for improved food quality. Next topic is single cell protein. The next one is tissue culture or micro propagation, and the last one is somatic hybridization. So these are the points or the topics which you are going to study in this chapter. I will ask you one question before getting into the topic animal husbandry. Is there a need for enhancement of food productivity? Yes, my dear children, there is a need for the enhancement of food productivity, as we know that world human population is increasing day by day, and the requirement of food is also rising to its proportionate. To make the world population equal to the productivity of the food, we should move into a new technologies which can enhance the productivity of the food by the enhancement of productivity of domesticated animals and plants through plant breeding technology as well as new technology. And these new technologies are: number 1, animal husbandry; number 2, plant breeding; number 3, single cell protein; and number 4, we can say tissue culture. So now I will move on to the first one, that is animal husbandry. It is the scientific agricultural practice of breeding and raising livestock. What do you mean by livestock? Domesticated animals which are raised for the use of profit are collectively called livestock. That means in our houses, or we can say in the farmland, there are many animals such as cow, buffalo, goat. All they will be domesticated there for human beings' purpose. So those are called livestock. And we can say that animal husbandry, it is a scientific mean of practice where the breeding is being done among the domesticated animal so that there will be rising of livestock. Now, in that animal husbandry, the first part is how we can manage the farm and farm animals. See, when we have to increase the food productivity, surely the animals which are present there in the farm, or we can see the farm animals which are there in the farm, they should be domesticated in such a way that we will be able to get the profit from them. So we can see how it takes place. First point, it is a scientific and controlled handling of farm. Scientifically, the management of farm is being done there and it should be in a controlled way. Number 2, it ensures proper and optimum feed, clean drinking water, proper shelter, grooming, immunization and selective breeding. So what is happening there? So during the management of the farms, or we can say farm animals, what is being done? It ensures, that means it is controlling there, or it is having that control, like it will be having a proper and optimum feed, and next thing, there should be a clean and pure drinking water. There should the shelter which is being provided there, it should be proper for the farm animals. Grooming should be done properly, and they should be provided with immunization, or we can say vaccination, as well as when the breeding is done, it should be selective, isn't it? So this is the 2 points, and next one we can see it includes dairy farm management, poultry management, animal breeding, beekeeping, fisheries. In that, number 1, it is dairy farm management. Here we can see it is the management of animals for milk and its products for human consumption. From the name itself, isn't it? We can say that what is dairy farm management? It is related with milk and its products. So it has been said that animals, they are managed there for milk and its products, and it is being used for human consumption. Now, for keeping a good dairy farm, there should be the following points which we have to keep in mind for making a good dairy farm. Number 1, selection of good quality of breeds. Which all breeds we are keeping there in the farm, it should be good quality. Number 2, we should provide adequate water. Number 3, maintain disease-free area. The farm which is being provided there for the farm animals, those should be there with the disease-free area. That means there should not be any disease which can affect the farm animals. Number 4, hygiene is ensured while milking, storage and transport of milk and its products. That means whenever milking is done, whenever storage is done, whenever transportation is being done with the milk and milk products, hygiene should be ensured there. Why? Because if hygiene is not there, what will happen? The first point, that is disease will be taking place. Number 5, regular inspection by a doctor. That means, see, like human beings used to go to the doctor for regular checkup, isn't it? The same way the animals, they should be given regular checkup there by a veterinary doctor, and the inspection is also being done regularly with the help of inspectors, which will be coming to the farm for watching or seeing whether everything is in proper order. Now the 7th one is feeding of cattle should be carried in a scientific manner. That is, good quality and quantity of fodder should be provided to the farm animals. Now the second one is poultry farm management. In that we can study, it is rearing, breeding and caring of domesticated fowl, or we can say birds, for meat or for their eggs. From the word poultry, it belongs to the birds. So birds are also managed there in the farms where they will be reared, they will be breeded and they will be taken care. For what purpose? For meat as well as for the production of egg. Now, poultry farm management, it includes number 1, selection of disease-free and suitable breeds. Here also we can see disease-free as well as suitable breeds are needed there, which should be selected for the increased production of food such as meat and eggs. Number 2, proper and safe farm conditions. Here also we have seen what the farm condition should be proper and it should be safe. Number 3, proper feed and water. Number 4, hygiene and health care should be done for the poultry. Now the next topic is animal breeding. Controlled mating in order to obtain superior genotype in domesticated animals for increasing their yield and improving desirable qualities of the produce is known as animal breeding. What it is in said? Controlled mating. That means whenever two animals are mated there, it should be on the basis of a controlled part, isn't it? Controlled part, that means it should not be done continuously. There should be a framework for the mating. And next one, why it is being done? To obtain superior genotype. What is the meaning of genotype? We have already studied about genotype and phenotype in zoology, isn't it? Geno means genes and pheno means physical, isn't it? So, genetic characters, to obtain superior genetic characters in the domesticated animals. And next, to increase the yield and to improve desirable qualities of the produce. So, these are the products when a controlled mating is done between the animals, and this process is called animal breeding. Now, what is the objectives of animal breeding? We can see there, to increase the yield of animals. Why we are doing animal breeding? Because we have to increase the productivity of animals. Number 2, better quality of animal products. What is there? Better quality of animal products means when we are doing animal breeding, we will be getting the product which will be more better than the normal one. And third one is higher growth rate. For them, the growth rate will be higher. Better efficiency on assimilation, resistance to various diseases. So, my dear children, next one is longer productivity rate, higher reproductivity rate, and the last one is to combine good qualities of two different breeds. So, these are all the objectives of animal breeding, and this part is very important, my dear children. You have to study it nicely, as the objectives of animal breeding used to come in the board exam. Now, next one we can see methods of animal breeding. There are two methods of animal breeding. One is inbreeding, number 2 is outbreeding. The first one is inbreeding. Already this term we have studied, we have learned in lesson number 2, isn't it? Inbreeding. Inbreeding refers to the mating between more closely related individuals within the same breed for 4 to 6 generations. What is inbreeding? It states that mating is being done among closely relative animals. That is, that individuals, they will be closely related to each other and it will be done within the same breed, and it is being done for 4 to 6 generations. That is inbreeding. I think, my dear children, you would have understood what is inbreeding. Now there are steps which includes inbreeding, isn't it? The first one is identification and selection of superior males and superior females of the same breed. So what is the first step there for inbreeding? Number one, selection should be done, isn't it, of superior male and female. So before that selection, it has to be identified which is superior male and which is superior female, and later on only the selection will be done there. And after the selection, the selected breeds are allowed to meet in pairs. That is, when the selection is over, both the male and female will be allowed to mate. And in the third step, we can see selection of superior males and females from the progeny by evaluation for further mating. That means from the first selection, the mating will be done there and the progeny will be produced. And among the progeny, again what is happening there? Selection is being done of superior male and female, isn't it? And next one, again they will be mated together. The fourth sentence we can see, selected individuals are again allowed to mate and selection is repeated on the progeny for about 4 to 6 generations. Already when we have studied about inbreeding, I told you 4 to 6 generation, isn't it? So this process will be going on 4 to 6 generations will be having this kind of process, and later on only we will be getting the good quality of animals. So what is happening here? Again from the progeny we will be selecting the superior male and superior female. Again they will be mated and again a progeny will be produced there, and this process will be continued till the 4 to 6 generations. Now the fifth one is selection of superior breed, and after the 6th generation, what is happening there? The selection of superior breed will be taking place there. This is how inbreeding process is taking place among animals. Now what are the advantages of inbreeding? We can see here, increases homozygosity. That means pure line will be produced there. They will be like their parents. The characters which are seen in the progeny, it will be similar to their parents. That is homozygosity. Number 2, exposes harmful recessive genes that are eliminated. Through inbreeding, the harmful recessive genes will be there which will be exposed, and those genes can be eradicated or can be taken out from the animal. And number 3, helps in accumulation of superior genes, and the genes which are present there, which are very superior and which are able to help in increase the productivity, those genes will be accumulated in the animal, and it is being done with the help of inbreeding. Next, eliminate less desirable genes. The genes which are needed for the higher productivity of the food, those genes are called desirable genes. So only those genes will be present there, and the genes which are not needed there, which are less desirable, they will be eliminated through inbreeding. And next one is increase the productivity. Already I told you, through this process the productivity will be increased. Now the disadvantages of inbreeding are, number 1, continued inbreeding within very close relatives reduces fertility and productivity. This is called inbreeding depression. Isn't it? What is the disadvantage? It is been said that when continuously inbreeding is being done among the closely related species, what will happen there? Reduces fertility as well as productivity. And number 2, inbreeding increases the chances for the expression of harmful recessive genes. Again, it is been, what is been said, when inbreeding is being done, there will be expression of harmful recessive genes which will be increased. So this is the disadvantage of inbreeding. And next one, the second one is outbreeding. It is the breeding of the unrelated animals. There what we have studied in the case of inbreeding, closely related animals. Here it is said unrelated animals which may belong to same breed but have no common ancestors for 4 to 6 generations, isn't it? Or different breeds of the same species and different species. So when we compare inbreeding as well as outbreeding, we can see that in the case of outbreeding, it is said that the breeding is being done between unrelated animals, and it is not having any common ancestors for 4 to 6 generations, isn't it? All the breeding can be done on different breeds, or we can say of the same species, or we can say of the different species. That is called outbreeding. And outbreeding is of 3 types. Number 1 is outcrossing, number 2 is crossbreeding, and number 3 is interspecific hybridization. My dear children, this part is also very important. You have to study it. Now the first one is outcrossing. This is the practice of mating of animals within a same breed that have no common ancestors on either side of their pedigrees up to 4 to 6 generation. The offspring produced by outcrossing is called outcross. Here you can see it is a practice. And what is happening there? Mating of animals is taking place there, and it has been taking place within the same breed. And here also we can say they don't have any common ancestors till 4 to 6 generations. And next one, the offsprings which are produced there through this process, they are called outcross. The advantage of outcrossing are: number 1, increases milk production. Number 2, increases growth rate in beef cattle. And number 3, a single outcross overcomes inbreeding depression. We know that what is inbreeding depression, isn't it? It reduces the fertility as well as reduces the productivity. So it can be overcome by a single outcross. Why? Because here we have studied that mating of animals is being done within the same breed, but they don't have any common ancestors for 4 to 6 generation. Now, number 2, cross breeding. This is the practice of mating between superior males of one breed with superior females of another breed. You can see here again what it is. It is a practice where mating is being done between superior males as well as superior female of another breed. And the advantages of cross breeding are: number 1, it helps to accumulate the desirable genes of the 2 breeds into progeny. That is the first one. What is being said there? Accumulation of desirable gene in the 2 breeds, isn't it? Now that breed which is being selected there for mating, in them desirable genes will be present there, which will be transmitted to the progeny, and that desirable genes will be accumulated in the progeny. And number 2, helps to develop new stable breeds that may be superior to the existing breeds by inbreeding and selection. So what is the second one? The progeny which will be developed there by crossbreeding will be more superior than the parent, isn't it? And example we can see of such type of progeny Bikaneri Aves when crossed with Merino Ram, Hisardel was produced. Hisardel was a sheep, isn't it? So here Bikaneri Aves and Merino Ram, when it was crossed there by the practice, or we can say the process called cross breeding, Hisardel was produced there. Number 3, interspecific hybridization. This is a practice of mating between male and female animals of two different species. Here you can see, my dear children, what it is being given there related to interspecific hybridization is two different species are mated there, isn't it? And what is happening there? Progeny may combine desirable features of both the parents. When two different species will be mated there, surely what will happen? The desirable gene present in the two different species, maybe male or female, what is happening there? The desirable features will be combined there and will be transmitted into the progeny. Now the third one is high economic value. When interspecific hybridization is taking place among the animals, the economic value of that animal will be high. Now we can see the example of interspecific hybridization. Mule, we all know that what is mule. Mule is obtained from male donkey when crossed with female horse. And this mule which was produced there, it was infertile. That means it doesn't have the fertility rate in it. But it can be used there for many other purposes. So my dear children, I think you would have understood today's topic, and you have to go through all these topics very clearly, as these points or these topics related to the animal husbandry, or I can say the management of dairy farm, or maybe related to the outbreeding, or we can say crossbreeding. Whatever is been we have studied today is very, very important on the basis of board examination. So here I wind this session, my dear children. Be safe, be healthy, and take care of yourself. Bye.